Hello, good morning. Welcome to the beautiful game. I've got Mary here with me on this one. Hi, Mary. How you doing?
I'm doing great.
All right, good, good. Now, social media has been awash after Arsenal lost to PSG in the first leg, and then the major talking point has to be the weekend game in the EPL where Arsenal lost to Bournemouth. That's basically what we're talking about. First of all, was it a shocker for you that Arsenal lost to Bournemouth?
It was disappointing. That's the word. At this time, Man City is seriously climbing. Let's use that. And so we being 3 points apart from Man City after this game was really disheartening for me. Because I expected a lot more. I would expect that, okay, yes, you've lost the Premier League, but at least try to stay afloat. The teams that are coming actually just few points apart. Anybody can still drop. And there are just 3 games left.
Just 3 games left. Yeah. So that's the major talking point. We'll get to the table and see how all of that figures out. But now the talking point has been Mikel Arteta using his full first team against Bornemouth, knowing that PSG are coming on Wednesday, right? Now, this was quite something. I myself, when I even saw, let's take a look at the lineups here. When I saw the lineup, I myself was even very shocked, considering that PSG is coming,
major match
right?
Coming. Yeah.
Basically, and this was my point. This was why it was shocking for me. Yeah, you started David Raya, Saliba, Ben White, Kiwior. Kiwior is now first choice because, of course, there's no Gabriel and all of that. Luis Kelly, of course. Thomas Partey wasn't even there. Odegaard, Rice, Bukayo Saka. Basically, his best 11, right? But this was where the very shocking thing was. You had Ethan Nwaneri. You had Ethan Nwaneri on the bench. You brought him in only the 86th minutes.
When the match was
Why
almost
is this guy not good enough to start? I mean, if Lamine Yamal was not given a chance, would we be talking about 17-year-old that's making this guy is good enough to start?
And Nwaneri has continuously proven himself.
Do you understand? He's good enough to start.
It's actually sad that Arteta didn't really maximize his usage this last match, because I actually did expect him to come in. I recall I was watching this with my man and he kept saying, bring in Nwaneri, see whether something else can happen. But
Kieran Tierney was also here. Zinchenko was also here. Came in 86 minutes. You had Merino. Okay, yes. First team, so maybe you are trying to rest him because he's going to be the one to strike against PSG and all of that.
How it is
you understand?
Right now.
Then there was still Raheem Sterling. So there were options, people to bring in. Why did you not? And then you see, the thing is that you now lost. If they even won that's even a different case. You now lost.
So you know what? I'm going to play the devil's advocate now. And say, maybe he was trying to, do some tactics, or maybe he was trying to put PSG off if they are watching, because to be very fair, it did not make sense. PSG rested their first team, remember?
Exactly. Talking about that PSG now. PSG were up against Strasbourg, right? And look at
even though they lost 2-1 too.
Before the match against Arsenal, the first match, they lost also. PSG changed their whole starting 11 completely. They changed the whole start. I mean, look at it now.
Nobody expected
against Strasbourg. Look at Petrovic. It will be Donnarumma that will keep. Doucouré, Sarr, Doué. Like Mendy is there. Pacho, Marquinhos, Hakimi. None of them are here. Vitinha, Neves, Ruiz. Then of course the front 3. You're going to look at Kvaratskhelia. You're going to look at Bakola. You're going to look at Dembele. The whole starting 11. And they lost. So now, look at...
But if you lose when you're not using your starting 11, it's understandable. But when you're using your starting 11 and you now lose...
Now, it so happens that of the 4 teams in the semi-finals, all other 3 massively rotated their squad. I'm talking about Inter Milan, Barcelona, and PSG. They massively... So now, the question now is this. Is Mikel Arteta still an intern coach, baby coach? Is he still...
No. As I said, I wanted to play the devil's advocate. I don't know what is going through his mind, but really, he has been very disappointing this season. There are certain choices he has made, certain decisions he has taken that have people wondering, do you realize you are no more a rookie? There are some rookie mistakes he has made.
You're showing yourself as though, exactly.
Go, what is he doing? I mean, I'm very sorry. I'm speaking for many Arsenal fans, because this has been the situation this season.
It has gone too long. You know what happens here? While this is going on, and all of that, let's take a look at what the table looks like. Because we're talking about the table, right? Let's take a look at the table. Right?
You see what I mean? Man City. Man City that was struggling throughout the season.
Let's take a
just
look at
3 points apart.
Let's take a look at the table. Now, we know that, okay, since let's Let's do it here so that we can get to see. No, don't worry. I'll get it done. Let's do it here so that we can get to see the points also. Okay. Good. Now this one shows us the points and everything. Now look at this. This is where I wanted to point out. Good. This is where I wanted to point out. Now look, Arsenal in second place with what? 67 points. Right now, the top 5 are short of Champions League, and Chelsea is now at 63.
Yeah.
Right. We are saying that with 3 matches left, right? This is a 4 points difference. Yeah. Even with that, first of all, I don't even, if the second team I played, I bet you that second team would have lost, maybe a draw.
Yeah.
Because
I'm actually thinking
tired legs.
Yeah.
These guys would have been fresher. Exactly. Get both from let them run.
Guys will also rest
Just make sure they don't. You are not fighting for the title again. Now, if you had a 68 points here, imagine you had a 68 points here, right? You'll be 5 points here with 3 matches remaining. You could find a way and ensure that. My point is that
even if
for now,
drawing.
Exactly. Champions League football is the position doesn't matter, second or fifth. Yes, when it comes to final placement and of course TV revenue and money, prize money comes at the end of the season, there'll be differences. But when it comes to Champions League qualification, you probably have that almost locked down.
That is what I was saying about this, that the difference is so slim. It is now if Arsenal continues this way, if they don't end up top 5, I will not be surprised. And I'm not kidding. Because look at this now. If they win 3 matches, this is 69 points we are looking at. If they win 72, 72.
But you know the challenge now. This is where I think Arsenal is qualified. See, Newcastle is playing Chelsea next week.
They might draw.
One person you draw or loss or what?
Yes, somebody
will draw. Is a direct driver.
Yes.
Final game, Chelsea is playing Nottingham.
Yeah. But let's also
think about that
Arsenal still has 3 matches.
Forget Liverpool. They're playing Liverpool. Liverpool now. Liverpool are just look at Chelsea. They dash Chelsea 3 points.
But they might
Arsenal
not
beat
dash
Liverpool.
Arsenal.
They
might not dash Arsenal.
So my point is that look at rivals are playing each other. Nottingham first will play Chelsea. Chelsea will play Newcastle. So amongst these 3 here, they will drop points.
Dropping of points, yes.
So my point I'm trying to make is that top 5 with draws every match. In fact, 2 more draws. Top 5 is sure.
But this is disappointing, Sha.
It doesn't matter.
I can't believe
it doesn't matter. My point now is that look, you're going to go up against a fresh PSG team. A team that they don't have any single one of them. The first 11 I'll play against Arsenal and did not play at the weekend.
They are in top form. They are well rested.
For me, yeah, Mikel Arteta has done all that he can do, and for me, they should let him go. This is as far as he can take them.
So many ability.
There's as far as you can take them. He's a good coach. I'm not saying he's not a bad coach, but he has done as far as because this was a rookie. Look at all the other coaches. You have 2 coaches that have played. I mean, you had Inzaghi, Simeone Inzaghi. You had Hansi Flick, and then of course you had Enrique. Two coaches that have won the Champions League, and then of course there's Simeone Inzaghi who has of course played in the final. So you have experienced coaches. Benchi, and then one rookie coach that is highest is second consecutively.
Sad part. He's not even a rookie. You don't get. You know when you're. So the thing is, people have been making excuses for him that he's still learning. But this season, many Arsenal fans lost it because this season we're title contenders at some point.
Yeah, definitely.
Liverpool stayed on top for most of the season.
Yeah, definitely.
And Arsenal was always close. We could say, injuries. Yes, injuries. But at least there were some losses that shouldn't have happened.
As an Arsenal fan, what are your thoughts on Wednesday? Arsenal PSG. You think what will happen? The players, for me, having them play on Saturday is tiring. 4 days rest. They get to travel. Yes, France, England. The distance is not so much all of that. But against a fresher, you're not going to be as fresh as PSG team. What are your thoughts? You think the Arsenal can overturn that difference?
Quite honestly, as at last week, I was very confident that Arsenal
can overturn it.
As in, I was very confident.
Remontada.
Yes, remontada. We would do like PSG did. I said PSG. So the thing is, this isn't Real Madrid, and Real Madrid is a strong team.
Okay.
Yes, we were able to pull it off. However, with PSG, the fact that they are rested already puts Arsenal at a disadvantage. Fingers crossed, though, Arsenal might stand a chance. However, it's going to be very dicey.
Okay, all right. That's it.
What's your prediction?
I don't know. I think Arsenal will lose, man. They come out and they'll push, but it's football. Even if I love the story of the underdog. I love the Montanas. I love comeback. I think that's why we love the magic of a beautiful game. But I see it hard. Dembele is a doubt for that particular game. I'm not very sure it will start. But there's still Vicha Varaskelia. There's still Doe. There's still Bakola.
Mike, believe me, Arsenal can do
they can.
because they have to create a major upset. A lot of people are going to be putting their money on PSG.
Possibility.
And nobody wants to pay out.
It's a case of possibility versus probability. Possibility, definitely. Probability, Much lower. But possibility, definitely. All right, that's it. Okay. Thank you so much, Mary. And of course, let's hear your thoughts. What do you think about Mikel Arteta's decision at the weekend to play his first game against Bornemouth? And then what are your predictions for Arsenal against PSG in the Champions League? Just do it in the comment section. Yeah. See you next time. Thank you very much, Mary.
My pleasure.
All right. See you next time.